Hello everyone, welcome back to Run the NBA, and today I wanted to talk about the last San Antonio Spurs player that I think can have a much improved and a bit of a breakout season this year, and that is Derrick White, the veteran of their younger group of players at age 27. He still only has 4 years in the league after coming into the league as an older prospect, but he has continued to improve year in, year out throughout his NBA career, and after a shortened season last year due to the season and his injuries, he will look to bounce back this year and continue to have an even bigger role after the key departures of DeMar DeRozan, Rudy Gay, and Patty Mills, and look to be one of the leaders on this team and be a very impactful player for this group moving forward. With that being said, if you guys do go on to enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. But let's go ahead and let's talk about Derrick White throughout the first few years of his career and how impactful he could be for the San Antonio Spurs next year and moving forward. Derrick White started on the San Antonio Spurs team when they were still competitive, when they were still a playoff team. Came in as a point guard, gave them some solid minutes alongside DeMar DeRozan, alongside LaMarcus Aldridge. Was an easy, simple point guard to integrate into this team. He was a good catch and shoot three-point guy. He didn't demand a lot of touches to run his own offense. He wasn't an amazing playmaker for a traditional point guard, which is why he's now transitioned to the shooting guard position alongside the emergence of Dejounte Murray. But naturally, they didn't need him to be a great playmaker because DeMar DeRozan was primarily going to have the ball in his hands. He emerged into a very good playmaker, and so Derrick White didn't have to assume those duties. He came in, did a fine job, was efficient with the shots that he got, and did his job quite well. Moving into year 3 of his career, however, he took a bit more of a backseat. Only started 20 of the 68 games he played in as opposed to the 55 of the 67 he played in year 2. His efficiency dropped from the field, but he drastically improved as a catch-and-shoot three-point guy. And that's really been the hallmark of him, and his best suit on offense throughout his career is that he is very good as a catch-and-shoot three-point shooter and can be a very good floor spacer in that regard. The rest of his offense definitely still is a work in progress. His ability in the mid-range, his ability at the rim is fine. It's nothing terrible, but it's definitely not anything great. And the same can be said for year 4 of his career, where he started 32 of the 36 games he played. His production went up to an all-time high in 15 points per game. His minutes also neared 30 minutes per game for the first time in his career. And he made over 2 threes a game for the first time in his career while still shooting 34.6% from deep. Now, in this upcoming season, I wouldn't say he's a lock to be in the starting lineup because Lonnie Walker is going to be behind him still on the bench. But nonetheless, I think he will start as a starter with this group. He is going to be a veteran piece for this group out of their guys that are going to continue to develop. There are 4 younger guys that I think are their future right now. Dejounte Murray, Lonnie Walker, Keldon Johnson, and Derrick White. Derrick White is by far the most experienced of them, the most veteran of them, the oldest of them. So I would expect he will slot up in that starting lineup, with Lonnie Walker being a bit more of a 6th man. And that leads Derrick White to being in a significant role next year, to him being that consistent starter, and him being more than just someone who can offer you good spacing and be a catch-and-shoot three-point shooter. He's going to be able to do a lot more off the dribble this year, a lot more off of pin downs. There'll be more offensive calls played, more offensive plays that'll be run for him, which is not necessarily something that has happened a lot so far throughout his young NBA career. That's definitely something I would expect for Derrick White more this upcoming season. I would expect him to take more threes, make more threes. His efficiency definitely might drop a little bit, and that was something that was a concern last year, as his efficiency dropped to an all-time low from the field at about 41%. So he'll look to improve on that, which in increased shooting role and in an increased role this season in general, that is a concern for me, because if his efficiency continues to drop with an increased role, that is a sign for me pretty much always that this guy either needs time to develop, in the case of a first-year, second-year guy, or just isn't good enough to be in that role and doesn't have the skill set for that. Whether they can develop that over time or not remains to be seen. But when someone's role and shot attempts and role in the offense and plays that are run for them increase, and their shot attempts increase and their efficiency declines, and that's usually not a great sign. Now, surely there are exceptions to that. Some guys just have to take overly contested shots in certain roles. Understood. But when you're talking about 41%, in no realm is that going to be any bit acceptable, and that's something that Derrick White needs to improve on this upcoming season. 3-point efficiency, fine. The rest of his offense definitely needs some improvement, as we had already touched on. And I think he'll have to become a little bit more of a playmaker and passer this year as well. He's not going to have to be a significant one, because I think Dejounte Murray will be the primary guy. The big onus of picking up the playmaking of DeMar DeRozan is going to fall on him. I also think Lonnie Walker is going to do a fair bit of playmaking. I think that's going to be a big room of improvement for him this season, specifically with him being that guy running things off of the bench. But I think Derrick White will look to improve in that department as well this year, and I think he will take a bit of an improvement in that realm of his game. And Derrick White has always been a good defensive player, which is what's always helped him, even when he's not doing that great, even when his 3-point shots aren't falling. He's still a solid defensive player. He's someone who can get you in and around a steal a game. He has solid impact in the defensive end. He's a good man-on-man defender and can lock down some of the best guards at his position. He's definitely not someone I would call an elite defender, but he's solid on that end and can definitely compete with the best of them. I don't think Derrick White is going to be one of my biggest breakout contenders for the San Antonio Spurs. I will have the links down in the description. Keldon Johnson, Lonnie Walker, and the Dejounte Murray videos that I've done. Those three, I think, are all bigger breakout candidates for me in this upcoming season. Part of it's due to the fact they have less time in the league. They are younger. I think they have more time and growth potential still than Derrick White. I think Derrick White's game and ceiling is kind of where it's at. Sure, he could start putting up a few more points, but I don't think his game is going to drastically change too much at this point in time in his career. I think he'll still continue to have a better season than he did last year. I think his numbers will go up more than it did last year, but I don't expect anything crazy from Derrick White this upcoming season. I just don't see him getting to the point where he improves his mid-range game, his playmaking, or his ability at the rim enough to a point where I think, wow, Derrick White is significantly better than he was last year. I'd love to be wrong. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about Derrick White in this upcoming season. Let me know if you think he's going to have a big breakout year, or if it's going to be more of the same from Derrick White that we have seen last year and the year before in the same type of mold. That's kind of the way I'm thinking. I think there'll be slight improvement, but I don't think there's going to be anything crazy from Derrick White. I think what we have from Derrick White now is pretty much what we're going to get. With that being said, of course, let me know down in the comment section. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to hear my thoughts on other things, NBA, young players, and rookies, and my expectations for them next year, just sure to click the box on the right. And I will have a San Antonio Spurs young player video on the left-hand side box. Be sure to click that if you're interested. And I'll have the links to the other ones down below as well. That being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.